The name's Wart. That means that I am a teenage girl. That means that I'm the concierge. Yeah, that's what I'm now. I'm the concierge. I don't like labels, but I mean, I guess I have to get used to it in this community, which requires you to go by what you work as rather than who you are. It's quite unfortunate when your first indicator of your character is based on what you do rather than who you are, but some would argue that what you do is who you are, and others would argue that who you are determines what you do. I argue for the latter, but that doesn't necessarily matter. I am the concierge now. So, at the tavern here, I'm assuming you're going to be wanting a room. Okay. In that case, let me just find a writing utensil. I'm going to be checking you in. You're lost? Been there, done that. Made it out, went back in. The reason I went back in was because when I went back into the outside world, I noticed how boring and superficial everything was, and the fact that it was much more difficult to. It wasn't as antiquated in the good sense, in the sense that you can easily get a job. You don't have to worry about little things that, shouldn't cause so much stress, such as finding a job. This is just a part-time job, though. I jump over the garden wall occasionally, but I'd just much rather work here a little while and then wander about the woods now that the monster, the beast, is gone. Yes, the beast. It's a good thing that you're lost during the time that the beast is no longer around. Before, if you were lost and you were, a child, the beast, or anyone really, the beast would try and get you to be so pessimistic that he would end up taking your soul basically and turn you into a oil tree for his lamp, so that way the light will never go out. But fortunately, the woodsman ended up blowing out his candle and finishing him off at the sacrifice or expense of his daughter. But he ended up seeing his daughter, so it's okay. It was just the beast tricking him into thinking a certain thing just to get what he wanted. Right, writing utensil. Got it. It's a modern quill. I think the forest is set in the 1920s, to be honest, to be completely honest. I don't want to say for sure, but I do believe it's set in the 1920s or around then, because it kind of has that aesthetic, and it has that sort of it has the same material. There's nothing too modern beyond the 1920s, so I think that's where. But you've got to keep a hush hush on that, because they're not quite friendly when it comes to comparison. When it comes to the woods, they like to be original and unique, but they earn it because they are quite original and unique. Have you visited the pumpkin patch yet? No? How about, have you visited the tea company yet? Right, they were two rival, the tea company that are offered now. They were two rival tea companies, but they ended up linking together after the marriage of the French lady and the Georgian man. I've noticed that she had a more baroque taste to her home, while the Englishman, uncle, as Greg would call him, my half-brother, yeah, my mom had a kid with my stepdad, and there he popped, but he called him uncle, so yeah, they settled up together and they decided that they would combine companies, and they've been quite successful. I mean, they have a monopoly on the tea company, but I think that just offers lower prices because they're beating out the rest of the blooming companies that are coming up now. I think it's quite ruthless, but I mean, business in itself, that's the nature of the beast, really. So you can actually don't say beast too loudly here. They are very sensitive to the topic still. They hold on to the fact that the beast might still be around, even though I highly doubt it's around, because I mean, like, I saw it wither away and disappear, but considering how they didn't see it, they're obviously a bit doubtful that that happened. Here, clean sheet of paper. So, tell me, what is your name? Thomas Jefferson. Okay. And what is your age, if you know it, or if you have one? Would you mind if I take off my hat? No? Okay. Let me just take off my hat. It's getting a bit in the way, so I do apologize. Thank you. It was getting to be a bit annoying, to be honest. Well, yeah, I mean, what were you expecting? A boy? No. Thomas Jefferson, ageless. And may I ask, what is your business here? Are you just going to be staying, or are you going to be having some business meetings, or... Okay, so it's just staying for the night. Do you know how many nights you want to stay? You can choose indefinitely if that is your decision. Obviously we're going to be charging you for each night, but we'll do it on a night-to-night basis, but it is nice to have a certain idea as to how long you'll be staying, so that way, in case we decide that, or rather someone calls in wanting to book in a room, then we know exactly who is leaving and who is staying. You don't know when you're going to be leaving? Okay, that's still fine. Still fine. So, indefinitely. Perfect. Perfectly perfect. No need to fret. In fact, there's absolutely no need for you to fret, because despite the fact that you're lost, and I'm assuming you just want to get a little bit of a good night's sleep instead of sleeping out on the grass or in a tree or something like that, where there's obviously like fire ants and whatnot. I mean, like, have you slept on a pile of fire ants? Good, because that's honestly the worst thing you can possibly do, because it's honestly it burns so bad, and it's honestly the worst thing that could possibly happen. I mean, like, the worst thing that could possibly happen is that the beast takes your brother's soul away and ends up turning him into an oil tree, which he uses for his oil lamp to keep himself alive. Or worse, when your own stupidity ends up getting you and your entire family cursed, and you have to be transformed into bluebirds. That's what happened to my girlfriend Beatrice. She ended up being turned into a bluebird via a curse. And she was almost going to trade me into the Lady of Adelaide. Lady of Adelaide. She was also almost going to turn me into Adelaide. Just so that way she can, like, lift the curse, which I guess is understandable, but at the same time, it's quite cold to just turning a couple of kids to, you know, an old lady. But at the same time, she thought that we were just going to be, you know, there, but she didn't really think that we were going to be her servants. She was quite shocked when she found that out, and what made her even more horrified was that she wasn't just going to keep us as servants, but she was going to fill our heads with cotton and, you know, make us completely brainless. That way we could be the perfect servants to her. Now, okay, so Do you have a preference for how big you want the room? We do have many that come into multiple sizes, between small and medium. So if you'd like, we can give you a small quarter that you can keep for yourself. It just has a bed. There is really no other space except for, it's basically like a walk-in closet, if you're familiar with those. Or a medium-sized room, which affords enough space for a bed, a writing desk, and a small window. There will be a small window in the small room, but it's more like a square, and it's towards the top of the room. Right. So it's gonna be, the small room is like a 3x3. No, it's a 3x2, I believe. No, it's 3x1. My mistake. It's a 3x1 yards rather, while the medium-sized room is a 4x4 meters. Right. So it affords enough space for that. No, pardon, it's 3x3 meters. I mean, yards. Right, so I'll put you down for the medium-sized room so that way you can keep up your writing. I do understand that you would prefer to journal. I mean, like, if anything were to happen, at least your loved ones would have your thoughts on paper and whatnot, but I'm not saying that there will anything happen. I mean, you can thank my brother and I and the woodsman for that. We ended up, vanquishing the beast, and now it doesn't prowl the woods anymore, but that doesn't necessarily mean that there aren't any other dangers in the woods, even though everyone here is quite pleasant and friendly, even though they might appear quite dangerous and malicious and malevolent at first, but it is quite a pleasant area, hence why I like working here. I mean, I spend most of my time here. In the outside world, it's just so boring, and I'm always so stressed. I mean, thanks to James Funderburger. He ruins my life, but I have a separate life here. I have a double life here, so it's okay. Anyways, so you'd like a room indefinitely, a medium-sized room indefinitely, so that you can write. Will you be needing any breakfast or any lunch and dinner, any food during the day? We can bring up breakfast. Lunch we can accommodate. We can rubbish up we can, scrub up, rub up, whatever, any food that we can during the lunch hours, but it's usually leftovers from our serving the other customers that walk in randomly that aren't staying here, because we are also a tavern, of course. And to the nighttime, we don't really offer any food. We just offer drinks. I mean, we do offer a bit of food, but it isn't like a full course meal. It's something like a chicken leg or horse meat or something of that nature. Yeah, if only horses could talk. Yeah, if only good horses could talk. But would you like me to put you down for any of them meals? It would obviously cost you extra, but the lunch wouldn't, because that's just leftovers, but the breakfast would. Okay, so I'll put you down for breakfast. Would like breakfast. Okay. Excellent. In that case, there we go. And then, since you want breakfast, medium-sized room, what are the other provisions we afford here? We do have a wide amount of space around us for grazing and whatnot, that you can just walk around, lounge around, wander around, and get to just be in nature without any obstacles in the way, like, twisted, mangled tree branches and whatnot. So if you'd like, I can list off the amenities that we offer here. We do have a communal shower and a communal bath and a communal hole in the floor, but we do regularly have Greg clean it up. And by Greg, I mean me. Okay, great. Yeah, a friend of mine, she was possessed by this evil spirit, and I freed her, but prior to me freeing her, she had to work these tasks for her aunt, who wasn't really her aunt, which was really creepy. And she was also really cute, like, really, really cute. But Beatrice, obviously, But, yeah, so she ended up having to do a lot of menial tasks around the house and clean up everything and whatnot. And I was gonna ask her if she wanted to do, if she wanted a position here where she could clean up as the maid, but she obviously refused it, considering how that reminded her of her time being possessed. So I understood and I let it go. Not to mention Beatrice was a bit like, why are you offering this girl a position where you work? But I told her to stop being jealous. Anyways, so indefinitely medium-sized room, and you would like breakfast in the morning. Excellent. If you have your currency, we accept whatever form they come in. Pumpkin seeds, not tadpoles. That would be terrible. But pumpkin seeds, flies. Let me put my hat back on. Pumpkin seeds, tadpoles. We also accept wood for our chimney, or rather our fireplace. We accept what else do we accept? Oh, we also accept teacher discounts as well. So teachers don't have to pay anything because, they teach animals to spell, read, behave, and whatnot. So they are obviously free to stay here as well, and to also drink here as long as they're doing it in an appropriate time. We would never allow a teacher to drink during the day because that's not appropriate, but during the night she can drink all she wants. So yeah, if whatever currency you have is valid, I'll be more than happy to accept it. Okay, I'll just wait a little bit until you scrounge about whatever you have. The tavern keepers and all that fussy, so I mean whatever you have is good by me. So